Welcome, Shashikant, to the show. So today we'll be understanding your personal journey and what you are doing in your current role. Okay, so
Okay.
could you be kind enough to provide an overview of what exactly the role you are doing currently?
Okay. Thanks for taking me on this. So currently, I am working as a co-founder of a startup called Trillbit, and as a co-founder, I am actually heading the business and marketing of the company. So Trillbit is mainly into cybersecurity.
Okay.
So we started the company in 2018,
Mm-hmm.
and it has been started by all three friends from IIT Kharagpur. So
Oh, nice.
other co-founders are from IIT Kharagpur. Uh, so initially we worked on a very specific technology called data over sound. So we were using the inaudible sound waves to transfer data or information from one device to another device. So you can compare this technology to Bluetooth, as
Mm.
you use Bluetooth to transfer the data from one device to another device. So that's the what we were doing through data over sound. And we started using it for the different use cases and then stumbled upon the cybersecurity use case where like a device authentication is needed. And that's where like we went into B2B sales. We started working with the IoT companies and we developed like a different product suites which can be used for IoT devices.
So what sectors you deal with currently? Can you give me a use case of where it is being used?
Yeah. So one of the use cases on the IoT side. So we are working with like companies like Knowles or Expressive, which is building the microphones, your smart microphones. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the use case, what we enable is take very simple example. Today, like if you buy any smart device like Alexa, Amazon Alexa,
Mm.
to make it work, first you have to set it up your Wi-Fi there, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
today they will give you like at least 4 or 5 steps to do that, right? They will ask you to download some app. Once you download the app, it will ask you to create the account. And once you create the account on the app, it will ask you to give your Wi-Fi ID and password on the app. And
Mm.
then, depending on which device it is, sometime it will transfer that Wi-Fi credential to the Alexa using
Mm.
Bluetooth.
Mm.
Sometimes they do it through Wi-Fi hotspot. So challenge with these current processes are like a Bluetooth is not completely friction free, and we have like industry benchmark data where around 8% of the devices get returned just because of this problem. Like the people are not able to set up their device once they buy it, and they get frustrated and they return it back, and that's where our solution comes. Using data over sound piece, we are able to do this kind of setup very seamless. So that's like one kind of use case I can talk about.
Nice. बहुत बढ़िया. So Shashi, can you give an overview of your journey? What
Mhm.
steps did you take, your career journey to becoming a co-founder?
So how many years back you want me to go?
Whatever you want to, whatever you think are relevant in terms of your decision and your selection of this particular niche or idea, yeah, of authentication.
Okay.
Mm.
Mhm. Okay. So, okay, maybe I can go little bit more back because I think it can be relevant for few few audience because sometimes you make like a different kind of life decision, but
Mm.
sometimes the path you take that is makes the entire journey interesting, right?
Mm.
So I don't know, like after my 12th, and I was in your section, right, in the
Mhm.
Shavli. So
Mhm.
after 12th, I did not appear for IIT. I went to Delhi, enrolled in Delhi University, and started preparing for like a IAS exam, which is like one of the
Nice.
thing
Wow.
every people from Bihar actually try to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I enrolled in the arts course. But somewhere when I was living in the Mukherjee Nagar,
Mm,
interacted with seniors,
mm,
interacted with the UPSC aspirants, and they told that it is too early to come into this grinding, right?
mm,
And they told that you should have some cushion before coming for the preparation, because UPSC anyway you can do it later also. At that time, again I went back to Ranchi and started preparing for JEE, and then the next year I cracked it, and then I did my BTech from IIT Kharagpur.
mhm,
So that this piece, what I am telling is just to give the indication that okay, sometimes people make decisions which are like
mm.
nothing to do with what you are thinking right now. But
Yeah.
yeah, of course, like if you are speaking to some decision, you have to go through that. And then after IIT, I worked for Tata Motors for like 2.5 years, mainly into their R&D center.
Mhm,
And that's where like I thought that at least I learned like 5 years of my engineering in IIT Kharagpur. I should apply that. So it was good because in Tata Motors I performed well. I was like one of the managing directors awardees, and I made good progress. But at the same time, what I realized that I cannot make my long-term career in the R&D or like in mechanical engineering job. I had knack for like business management more. And when I started getting involved in the business processes of Tata Motors, then I find that okay, I should do MBA. And that's where like I went to do my MBA from ISB Hyderabad. And after finishing that, I joined Ola. And Ola, it was more like a managerial job. And I got the experience of like how the startup works. Because that time when I joined Ola, it was like a 2015. And 2015 was like a peak time for Ola. They were launching different categories. They were going into different customer segments. And those were like interesting time to be in Ola. And that kind of experience actually gave me strength, or I will say that motivation that I should do my own startup. And when
mhm.
my IT Kharagpur batchmates started talking about this idea, then I thought that I should jump upon. So that's like a total journey which I can summarize.
Very nice, very nice. So now you are in the marketing domain. So how exactly are you managing marketing activities for your startup?
Yeah. So that is also interesting because if you see the profile of my other two co-founders, though, so they come from the core tech background. So after IIT, they worked for Slumberjay, and they were like doing acoustic engineering there. So using acoustic to
Okay.
do the oil and gas exploration.
Mm-hmm.
And from that part background only, we developed this data over sound uh, technology part or the product part.
Mm-hmm.
So when we started working for Trillbit, so I had done MBA, so it was expected that I will start working on the business side, on the sales side, on the marketing side.
Mm-hmm.
But interesting fact also is I did not like marketing at all. Earlier, I used to think that marketing is all about ads. You put like a good people in the ads, and then you just make the ads, and then hope that it will create result for you.
Mm.
And even in ISB, I have not taken any marketing courses apart from the core
Wow.
subjects. As you also have done MBA, you
Yeah.
realize that there would be some core courses you have to do for each stream. But after that, I have not taken any. But in
Mm.
Trillbit, uh, yeah, what I realized that yeah, marketing and sales is going to be like a main pillar, because technology or the product is one part, right? But how you are going to sell it into the B2B setting, that is
Mm.
completely different part. So that's where like I learned B2B sales, I learned marketing, and then I had to do it by own initially, and then now I we have a team like, and I am leading the team to do that work.
So Shashi, if somebody wants to start from scratch, yeah, and build a career in your field, what could be a potential pathway or the steps they can take? Could you
Mhm.
outline them possibly?
Okay. So if you're talking about like specifically the marketing part, so what
Mm-hmm.
I will say that now pretty good courses are available. And depending on like whether you are into B2C or
Mm-hmm.
B2B, you can just go through the courses because it will give you certain idea like how things work there. And
Mm-hmm.
uh, and it give you like a good foundation to start with.
Mm-hmm.
Once you are done with that, the good thing about marketing is easily you get internship, good internship, even
Mm-hmm.
in like a big companies, where you get right mentorship, where you get right projects to
Mm-hmm.
start working in that direction. And once you do the internship, you can actually go for the full time job. The other path what can be taken is to learn and grow is there are so many freelancing platforms available where like a lot
Mm-hmm.
of projects comes for the marketing. You can just get those projects and you will get the entire idea of like how you can do the delivery from end to end independently. And
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you that freelancers, they are really in demand, but at the same time, clients will not take any work, right? They always expect quality work to be delivered, and they
Mm-hmm.
will really demand from you. And
Mm-hmm.
that's where you start learning, delivering, and actually start
Mm-hmm.
refining your skills
Mm-hmm.
in the marketing.
Understand. In terms of any prerequisites of education, you feel there are any, or anybody can start in marketing with a basic minimum education?
So that's where what we found that uh, prerequisite is not there. If you have done like a MBA in marketing and all, then you would have certain idea. But of course, you understand that that is again like a very theoretical level, right?
Mm-hmm.
With everything online and digital, you have pretty good courses available, which
Mm-hmm.
just touch of your laptop you can get that and actually learn from that. And uh, and that is like the best way, like learning and then trying to do the projects and getting like, if you are able to get the results, then it's good. Otherwise you have to again relearn and then try working upon something different.
Sure. Very nice. So, can you give us an overview of your day-to-day activities? How does your day start? What do you do? Typical day
Mhm.
in your shoes.
Sure, sure. So so I actually take care of like a business part and the marketing part both. So a typical day will be like doing meetings with my teams, different teams, taking consideration like what they are doing in their respective responsibility
Mm,
area. So in B2B sales, it's more like you means for us it makes more sense like account based management. Like we have companies and we have to see like at what stages those companies are in your sales pipeline, and then how
mm,
you move them from one stage to another, right? what
mm,
what kind of things we need to do. So that's where like I sit with teams, see like how the entire sales pipeline looks like, whether we are able to hit the quarterly target or not, and on the day to day basis like how we can create the better sales pipeline for the company and better revenue for the company. Then in the marketing meeting, it's more like in B2B, we are doing more on the content marketing side. We are establishing ourselves like in cybersecurity domain. So that's where like I sit with the team, see their like a content calendar, see like what kind of things they have done, and then we review the content and then see like how we can improve it, and then we follow the content calendar to publish it for on the different platforms. And at the same time, we also run like a email marketing, we run LinkedIn campaigns. So for those aspects also, where we need to have the content. So that's what I do with the my content marketing team.
very nice. Good. So, in terms of the challenges, what do you enjoy in your role, and what are the challenges you face? Could you give us an example?
Yeah, true. So talking about the challenges, what I will say, and I touched upon this before also, that see, having a product is a good thing, and having a good technology is also like position you in a good way to start a company. But if you see like, unless you don't get the good product market fit, unless your clients is not ready to pay for your product, then this is only the half job done, right? And that's where I will say that we initially faced the challenges where we tried like a different kind of use cases. So one example I can give, like this data oversound, we wanted to use it for proximity marketing. I don't know how much you know about proximity marketing, but
I think if
in a
the
very simple
customer
way
is
I
in
can.
the vicinity of your device, you can send them
Right,
dedicated
right, right,
SMSs or
right.
promotions.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So we were using like audio speakers which are present in like a shopping mall or which are present
Mm.
in the airport to send you real-time information and the offer. And we
Mm.
have done like a good pilots with few big name in India at least.
Mm-hmm.
Like we worked with Bangalore airport, we worked with Big Bazaar. Okay, but the challenge is what we faced that we could not translate it into good revenue.
Mm.
So that became like a good challenge for or big challenge for us, where like how you build your sales pipeline in such a way that it translates into revenue.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where like we then tried different use cases, and then finally this IoT authentication use case kicked us for us. And now talking about like a day-to-day challenge, it's always like you see your team to work upon something and you see like how they are going to improve in their delivery, right? On the daily basis, how you can improve. And as you know, market does not wait for you, right?
Yeah.
Every day new innovation will come up.
Mm.
Every day some other competitor technology will come up. So you always have to see that how you modify your product accordingly and how you sell your value proposition. So those are the challenges which I can say like yeah we face and we actually deal with.
And what are the things you enjoy the most in your role?
So I will say that this is like a learning part which I enjoy most, because in startups you understand that you wear many hats, right?
Mm.
You cannot restrict yourself as founder that okay I will only do this part.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever your team needs your pitching, you have to come and then contribute, right? And at the
Mm-hmm.
same time you do lot of self learning. So take example like I was like completely ignorant about B2B marketing or B2B sales.
Mm.
Then I have to learn it by own. I have to get mentorship by good people who are actually into this, and see like how it can be applied, how it can be restructured for your company. So that part is always exciting. So as people say, like sometimes journey becomes like a more interesting than like a reward, right?
Mm.
So that kind of feeling you always get.
Very nice. In terms of the skill set, what are the key skills needed for your role? Could you highlight them?
Yes. So so as I am handling sales and marketing both. So I will say that there are different kind of skill sets needed for each one of them. So let's talk about the B2B sales. So I will just give you an example. Like when I started uh, this B2B sales for my company, I used to think that if you have prepared well, if you have a good product, and if you can pitch it to the client,
Mm-hmm.
then job will be done and you will get the contract. Okay,
Mm.
but with time and also like I attended few workshops by good uh, experienced people who were into B2B. So one
Mm.
example I can give, like I attended like one accelerator program from TechStars, and also one accelerator program from New York University. They conducted it in Abu Dhabi. So that's where like I met like a people who actually did B2B sales throughout their life, and realized that the skills are completely different than what I assumed. So for B2B sales, what I found that two things are very important. Uh, your ability to ask right questions, and then your ability to listen to the answers and then make out the need of the users or the clients
Mm.
you are doing. And generally that notion of salesperson are completely different than what we assume, right? So yeah, so we assume that like if you are really good in speaking and you have very good communication skill, you can crack like a B2B sales easily, right?
Mm,
But but with experience and with like doing it, I realized that skill sets are different. And if you realize it in the beginning, you can become like a better in B2B sales. Uh, Now talking about the marketing part, so B2B marketing is also a little bit different than B2C marketing.
mm,
So you need to understand the difference. You need to understand which platforms are useful for you, what kind of activities you want to do it, and even like a marketing. What I realized by doing courses on like a HubSpot, I realized that there are not of science and structure to it. It does not only include the creativity part, it also include lot of data and structure. And if you follow that, then only you get better results.
understand. Understand. But in terms of any advice you received on your career journey, you've already mentioned one, which was related to your
Mhm,
IES or leaving the IES preparations. Is there any other advice you
mhm.
received which altered the course of your career journey or that you found very
Uh,
useful in your career?
okay. So I think throughout my journey, like different people contributed differently. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, One thing which I could remember is like when I left Ola, my boss, like my immediate manager, he
Mm-hmm.
told me only one thing, that you have taken a hard path because yeah, doing a startup is like difficult,
Mm-hmm.
but now you have taken it, then you have to make it work and
Mm.
make sure that you don't come back for a job like 12 months after. So that was like a good point he made. And now
Mm.
like I also realized that yeah, the startup is like a hard but at the same time so enriching and so exciting that yeah, I want to continue doing that. And that's where I belong.
Nice. Nice to know that you are enjoying it and you didn't prove the advice wrong. And what is the advice you would like to give your the viewers of this video?
Mhm. So basically, I talked about my journey, right? So which is
Mm.
not like a very normal straight line kind of career path. Many
Mm-hmm.
people like make like that, and they really excel in that. Like they will get good degrees from good colleges, they will make good corporate career, and they really excel in that. Uh, my I will just want to say that basically everybody has their own journey, okay,
Mm.
and
Mm-hmm.
you don't need to compare it with somebody else, okay. And
Mm.
sometimes you feel like you are not getting at that point of time what you deserve, but just follow your path, be happy, and actually do what you like and where your strength lies, okay.
Mm.
So if you have the combination of both, like if you are doing what you like and your strength also lies there, then only you can really create a good difference and actually enjoy working, because half of our life we are working, right? So that should be
Mm.
enjoyable. Otherwise, otherwise, if you're just thinking about the money going behind that and not enjoying your work, then it is like not the complete satisfaction you get out of that.
Sure. In terms of the growth opportunities and future for marketing related jobs, what is your view of that professional landscape?
Mhm. Yeah. So see, we also analyze it because as a company we have to see like whether we can use the AI tools for the
Mm.
marketing, for the sales,
Mm-hmm.
okay. And also like I have like a good interest in AI, so I
Mm.
am actually following this field. So what I realize is AI will make a lot of changes in all the fields, okay. So
Mm-hmm.
even in the marketing lot of changes will be there. So take one example, like earlier for my company, I used to hire the content writer and used to pay around like say like 1 lakh per month, right? But with
Mm.
ChatGPT coming, I can get the work done from a moderate skill kind of content writer with the help of ChatGPT. and it will reduce my cost eventually, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of benefits you get, where like these tools you can deploy to get the work done, get your first draft. But at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, once the AI really evolve, and also you know that there are only few people, like you need a very small number of people to do any kind of a startup and work on any specific technology. That time actually marketing will be your real differentiator, because if everybody can make any product, then it is sales and marketing which will actually put your growth trajectory, right?
Mm.
Otherwise, everybody will be selling the same product. So that's where I think that marketing has the advantage. And if you have that skills, then yeah, you can really make it work.
Nice. And if you compare work-life balance, especially being a CMO at a startup, how do you feel about that and how you are able to maintain work-life balance?
So for startups, it's really difficult to do. And even like today, my wife complained that why you are doing this podcast on a Friday night at 9:30, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it is like a usual thing for me, especially because we have to work for both geography like India and US. Most of the clients uh, of Trillbit is in US, so I
Mm.
always have to do like some
Late.
time slots for India and some
Mm.
time slots for US, right?
Mm.
And that's where like it's very difficult to do. But at the same time, what I will say, that when you are running your business, you also get like a lot of flexibility. Like
Mm.
you can get some time blocks in the day where you want to do whatever you want. You can give like your family attention. You can do some physical activities if you like that. So that kind of flexibility is also there. But it again depends like at what stage you are. So
Mm.
initially you devote a lot of time, but once like your company gets matured, if you have right people in your team, then again the workload reduces, and yeah, you can find time for your life and for your family.
Thank you so much, Shashi, for sharing your insights. It was pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Manmit.
तो अब रिकॉर्डिंग बंद कर रहा हूँ मैं, ठीक है, शशि?
Okay.